Stop manifesting with words, because words are the weakest signal you can send. And I'm not saying don't use them. I'm saying stop worshiping them like they're the engine. Because the engine is your nervous system. Your body is the broadcast tower, and it's sending a signal every second whether you like it or not. And reality doesn't respond to what you say you are. It responds to what your system is trained to expect. And that expectation lives in your breath, your muscle tone, your baseline tension, your speed, your micro flinches, your posture, your attention, your sleep, your digestion, your ability to stay present without needing stimulation. And that's why people repeat affirmations for months and still feel stuck. Because they're speaking from a state that contradicts the words. A tight throat saying, I express myself. A clenched chest saying, I'm safe. A shallow breath saying, I trust the process. And the subconscious does not hear the sentence. It reads the body like a lie detector. It reads your chemistry, and it chooses the body every time because the nervous system is older than your thoughts, older than your logic, older than your spiritual beliefs. It's primal hardware, and its job is not to make you successful, wealthy, loved, or awakened. Its job is to keep you alive based on past data, which means it will protect the familiar. Even if the familiar is painful, it will choose known stress over unknown peace. It will choose predictable misery over unpredictable growth. And that's the part that wrecks people, because they think they're fighting the universe when they're actually fighting their own survival wiring. And the wiring is strong. It's not evil. It's just loyal to what it has learned. So if your baseline is urgency, if your baseline is something is missing, if your baseline is, I have to prove, if your baseline is, I'm behind, then you can say, I'm aligned 1,000 times, and the signal will still be desperation. And desperation has a texture. People can feel it. Life can feel it. The timing gets weird. You overthink messages. You chase clarity. You force motivation. You seek signs. You need certainty. And that need is the loudest broadcast of all, because a regulated system doesn't need to beg reality. It moves as if it's already home. And that's the difference. Words are a map. State is the vehicle. And most people have a gorgeous map while their vehicle is broken. So the first move is not better affirmations. It's regulation. Because regulation is what upgrades the signal. And when I say regulation, I don't mean calm like a sleeping person. I mean coherent, grounded, present, aware, able to hold intensity without collapsing, able to stay in the body without escaping into the mind. Because a dysregulated system can't hear guidance. It can only scan for threat. And that's why intuition goes quiet when you're anxious, because anxiety narrows perception. It tunnels your awareness into survival options. It makes your world smaller. It makes your future shorter. It makes everything feel urgent. And then you mistake that urgency for motivation. But it's not motivation. It's activation. It's your system saying danger, even if the danger is imaginary. And when you live there long enough, it becomes your identity. You don't just feel rushed. You become a rushed person. You don't just feel tense. You become a tense person. You don't just have thoughts. You become a mind that never stops. And then you try to manifest a peaceful life from inside a body trained for war. And you wonder why it doesn't land. So here's the shift. Reality moves when your baseline moves, not when your vocabulary improves. Because a regulated nervous system changes what you notice, what you tolerate, what you choose, how you interpret people's energy, how long you can stay with discomfort, how quickly you recover from setbacks. And all of that is creation, because perception creates options, and options create outcomes. And when you're regulated, your attention opens up. You see more variables. You see more pathways. You stop obsessing over one door. And when attention opens, life looks like it's sinking. But it's not magic. It's your brain exiting threat mode. And here's the part people misunderstand. Manifestation isn't pulling objects from the sky. It's becoming the kind of person whose nervous system no longer matches the old timeline. So the old timeline stops sticking. And this is why state first works. Because identity is not a concept. It's a felt pattern. It's the emotional weather you live inside. And that weather is programmable, not through force, but through repetition. Because the nervous system learns through consistent experiences, not through one dramatic pep talk. And that's why you can have one amazing meditation and still wake up the next day stressed, because the baseline didn't change yet. And the baseline baseline changes when you teach safety to the body in tiny doses until it believes it. Slow exhale after slow exhale, unclenching your jaw 100 times a day, dropping your shoulders 1,000 times a month, pausing before reacting, eating without scrolling, walking without noise, noticing the urge to rush and choosing not to obey it. And each time you do that, you're telling your system, we are not being hunted, and that creates a new internal rhythm. And when the rhythm changes, your choices change. And when your choices change, your life changes. And now we can talk about affirmations, because affirmations are powerful only when they match a state you can actually hold. So instead of saying, I am fearless from a panicked body, you say, I'm learning to be safe in my body. You build a believable bridge. You ladder the identity, because the subconscious doesn't respond to fantasy. It responds to felt truth. And felt truth is created by embodied repetition. And once your body starts trusting the new baseline, the words stop being forced. They become descriptions, not demands. And this is where inner guidance comes back online, because guidance is not fireworks. It's subtle. It's a quiet pull, a clean yes, a heavy no, a sense of expansion or contraction. But you can't feel that if your system is screaming, because a screaming system drowns out the whisper. And a lot of people think they're blocked spiritually when they're just overstimulated biologically. Too much input, too little stillness, too much caffeine, too little sleep, too much social comparison, too little silence, too much dopamine hunting, too little presence, and they call it lack of alignment. But it's just noise, so the practice is simple but not easy. You clean the signal, you reduce the noise, you build regulation like you build strength, and then your life starts mirroring the order inside you. Not because you're special, but because coherence is magnetic. Coherence creates consistency, and consistency creates trust, and trust creates flow. And flow looks like luck from the outside, but it's just a regulated person making clean choices repeatedly. And if you want a direct test, here it is. Next time you want to manifest, don't speak first. Check your body first. Is your breath high or deep? Is your face tight or soft? Is your awareness narrow or wide? Are you trying to control or are you present? Are you chasing a result or are you embodying a state? Because if you're chasing, you're broadcasting lack. If you're embodying, you're broadcasting wholeness. And wholeness doesn't beg. It moves. It chooses. It allows. It becomes. And when you finally feel that difference, you realize you were never manifesting with words. You were manifesting with your nervous system the entire time. And from that point forward, you stop asking life to listen because it already has. You just upgraded the signal.